You just started your business. Let me help you to build that bridge to talk to him. He is proud Indian person and he would do anything for something related to India. And icing on the cake is if you can really show him return on investment, because he just spent $1.7 million with some company in India with zero ROI. And that was a radio station. And I was like, oh, wow. I said, you know what? I don't want to meet him today. Give me 2 days and please fix my appointment with him. What? You just started.
Hey, welcome to Craig Your Mountain Personal Growth. Let's continue on with our interview of the amazing and incredible Viral Trivedi as she tells us how she was able to establish her company, Neeva.
What will you do in 2 days? I was like, I'll call you tomorrow. I went home and I developed the concept of a complete podcast platform. Because guess what? Days are gone when people were glued to radio station. People were glued to television channel. Now everyone has their own television channel in Roku, Netflix. Everyone has their own radio station like this podcast platform. Everyone's mindset and the likings and dislikings are very limited to this new versions. Because if I have 5 minutes, I do not want to sit around and wait on some song. I want to go on YouTube or my Apple Music or my any such apps and want to listen to it. If I want to improve my life in the morning, I don't want to wait for TED Talk. TED Talk comes to me.
Exactly.
So I developed a complete concept like that. And I attached it with my digital marketing business and I developed a whole plan in 3 hours and presented it to my chartered accountant. Now, he's like, wow, what a concept. Why don't you register a nonprofit organization and present it to him? So if he doesn't like this concept, you keep running with it. I was like, bravo. I registered a nonprofit organization and started building this nonprofit organization. So my team came up with this idea. They are like, what if this guy does not understand what does it mean by owning a podcast platform? We should create at least 100 podcasts, put it online, and we should have its own digital radio station with the same genre of songs and no jock talks, but this podcast of 2 to 4 minutes. I was like, wow, what a practical presentation. We took a week, developed a whole podcast platform. And this doctor did not give me an appointment for 10 months. By then, we have grew our followership to more than 10,000. We have daily listener of more than 1,000. And the rest is a history. So my for-profit got a little boost because people who come on my non-profit would ask like, I want to learn what you did. Well, this is what I do for a living. So both started working simultaneously.
So that's BrightLife. That's the nonprofit. And
yes.
Neeva Digital. Where did you get the name Neeva? That's your daughter.
That's my daughter. And
I thought so.
That's a huge story. Really very long story.
Okay,
I hope you had a patience.
We'll save that for part 2. I just want to tell you, though, that it reminds me of back home. I'm originally from Queens, New York. Now, you wonder where I get my Hindi and my Bollywood music from. Jackson Heights, Queens. I used to hang out down there all the time. And Jackson Heights, Queens is it's like the epicenter of Indian culture, Indian, Pakistani.
Oh, yes.
It's all over there, you know. And I used to work down there. But my town was Cambria Heights. And Cambria Heights was a lot of Caribbean people. I'm half Caribbean myself. And there was a lady that she opened up a bakery.
Oh, wow.
The name of the bakery was Tiffany's Bakery. And Tiffany was her daughter as well. So the minute you said it, that's how I said, that's got to be your daughter, because I just knew it, you know? So tell me something else. Tell me something else if you don't mind.
Would you be shocked if I tell you that I did not pick that name?
Your husband picked it.
No.
Who picked it?
So when I was looking into this wonderful business concept, and I had my onboarding call, and the lady who was helping me out to set up my complete business, she asked, if you name this business, what would be the name? So, of course, as you said, the first thing was Neeva Digital. And I was like, no, according to marketing, it should have a bigger, very tempting name. It should have this, it should have that. And she quickly looked up and see domain was available. Guess what? She purchased the domain.
Wow.
And she's like, congratulations. Your business name is Neeva Digital. I'm telling people to call it Neeva Digital, and everyone will start working under Neeva Digital. You can change DBA later on. Back then, I did not even register my business. I was not even planning to register my business. What I thought is, I will take this model, I will try this model until the money runs out in my account. If it doesn't work, I will be back to workforce.
Hmm.
So somehow whole team of them started calling my company Neeva Digital. And that's how the name was Neeva Digital. So, but yes, Neeva is my daughter. She's aspiring to be a horse jumper and a fashion model. She has personally performed in one season of New York Fashion Week, because you're from New York, so I'm sure you know what it is.
Oh yeah. Now, did she work with our mutual friend Francis?
She will be soon. So Neeva has performed with 3 brands, one local, one national, and one international.
Nice.
I have personally performed in 2 New York Fashion Week seasons. 2 works for the same brand in the first season, and second season, one local brand, which was registered by me, developed by me, introduced to them by me, brought to there by me, and then I worked with my daughter, their first mother and daughter pair. And second one was international brand House of Musa. So again, I'm working with Francis for how to lay out the path. But yes, Neeva means, let me explain how I came up to Neeva. And it has a lot to do with my upbringing and a lot to do with my beliefs in my religion. So as if you know a little about Indian culture, Holy Ganges has a lot of significance. So as in Gujarat, Narmada River has a lot of significance. So when we die and we get cremated, our ashes are float into River Narmada, right? And Narmada River had a huge dam structure, Sardar Sarovar Narmada Nigam Limited, which is providing electricity to 4 states. When it was being built, my father quit his medicine studies to become a civil engineer so he can contribute to the society. And when I was pregnant, my side of a whole family was on a pilgrimage of that river. And back then, my father was working on presenting. It is way before when my father was chief engineer of that specific project for 7 years. And during his tenure, he worked very hard to present this wonderful project to bring more, after the project is finished, to bring more visitors, to learn the history of this wonderful project to that specific site. And that project is called Statue of Unity, the tallest building, the tallest statue in the whole world right now. So
That's
when I
amazing.
yeah, so when I learned that I'm having a daughter, my motherhood what was at the highest, because my parents raised girl child in all the adversities. So and now it's my turn, and I wanted her to learn same kind of a dedication what my father had to the society, but still do the great things without expecting anything in return, and still be bound to my country. So if you see a logo of Narmada Nigam Limited, see, it is N and small N. She's gonna be brought, she's gonna,
You're going to have to bring that a little closer so we can see. It's a little blurry.
okay, do me a favor, give me a second. I know why it is blurry. I think I chose blur background. Your voice. I'm not able to hear, sorry.
Oh, do it. That's okay. Do as you do, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, so if you see the logo, it has capital N, uppercase N. It has a river floating through, and where the upper part of N ends, it's written as N. And when I looked at that logo when I was pregnant, it made a complete sense to me because it has a civil, so the floating river actually represents the dam site. So my daughter is gonna grow up in this country. So she's completely gonna grow up into an English speaking environment, which is outside of the country where I grew up. She will still have to follow her values, which is not in my language. The dam side, whatever you do to the river, though you try to captivate it, it is still going to give you something good. So those all values, I wanted to give it to her. So I started reading scripture based on Narmada River and started looking into multiple names. And I came across this name, Neeva, which is a flow of that river. Now, Neeva in Spanish is snow. Neeva in Japanese is sunrise. So again, she has to rise in her life and she has to be as calm as snow. So it was reciprocating all the things I was looking into her life. And when she was 3, she actually visited that place with me. And I have a video of her telling, this is a river I'm named after, and this is a project I'm named after.
That's
I know it's a
fantastic.
long
That's fantastic.
story.
Yes, but it's a good story, and I'll tell you, you're leaving a beautiful legacy for your children as well, and that's a beautiful thing for them, for her to have that, and then to
Right.
have it here, and to you take that, move it forward. You see, you work on in terms of also empowering other women. Can you tell us a little bit about how you do that?
So I'm a lifetime advisor into this nonprofit organization based out of India in a city called Banaras. And it's called Hunare Banaras, which is funded by Prime Minister of India and which provides social education. And why I mean the word social, I will cover it later on. They provide social education to all the women in cases if they are left from their family, they are widowed, or if they are unmarried, and they, if anyone who falls into this category, they can create their own empowerment. So I'm associated with that nonprofit organization, and they teach kids computer education, they teach fashion designing, they teach cultural yoga techniques. More too, it's a holistic city. So in Hinduism, you offer fresh flowers to God.
Mm.
And in this city of Banaras, we have one of the holiest temple, Kashi Vishwanath, where people are offering fresh flowers in metric tons. So this specific nonprofit organization, what they do it, they collect all those dried flowers, make gulal, which is like powdered color, or incense out of it. So of course it gets recycled, has spiritual value, it's organic, and it provides employment.
So do they use that? Is the powder, the colored powder? is that used during Holi or Diwali, during the festivals like that?
So yes, mainly people largely know it is used in in a festival called Holi because it's a festival of colors. But a lot of people do not know when you offer worship to God, yellow color, which is made out of chandan, a holistic wood, is actually used to do tilak on God or tilak on people for the calmness. Red is kumkum, white is abir, pink is gulal, and this all has religious significance in a worshipping process as well.
Okay. Okay. So, okay, that's interesting. So, and all of this, therefore, is recyclable. So it's already connected to the earth, as it were. I think we froze up a bit again. We froze up a bit again, which is okay. So she's here in North Carolina. We've interviewed individuals in Australia, New Zealand, England, and we haven't had that challenge. But here in Raleigh, we're freezing up. But that's okay. She is back, and she's going to continue in our discussion. So let me ask you this one last question. Okay, well, the next question, not the last question. So the ingredients there are recyclable, and therefore it's already connected to the earth, which really, I think about humanity's progress in terms of modern technology. You find so many things that are modern conveniences that actually are detrimental to the body, detrimental to the environment. But here you have just something here that proves that we can take alternative technologies that actually nourish humanity, nourish the body, nourish the earth, and make something good. So certainly we would enjoy that. We appreciate that. Let me ask you this, okay? Here is the final question, because we like to talk. And I can sit here and listen to your story and your perspective, and it's all day. So, but I have one question that I ask all my guests, and I'm going to ask this of you. Trivedi, you've experienced illnesses that you've overcome, and you've dealt with so many things. You even survived a massive car accident. You've dealing with assault on a very personal level, and yet you are still here. You've created a digital company, a digital marketing company. You've actually become Miss North Carolina several ways and several times over. With all of that, including the BrightLife nonprofit organization, including your beautiful child that you named the company after. Tell us this, Gujarat Trivedi. What does it mean to you to crush your mountain?
It means a lot. And I am a trained mountaineer. And while I was on my first expedition, I read this line, which I made a motto of my life: take nothing but memories, leave nothing but your footprints. And leaving footprints to others for their betterment, for their joy, means the most to me. And during my entire lifetime, if I look back, crushing my mountain, I have crushed quite a few times, because every time when any kind of a struggle came to me, I had to crush that mountain. But this is the only mental mountain you see, which you climb on your wish. You do this expedition on your wish. And this is the only mountain you prove yourself. It's everything all right. This too shall pass. and there is only a bright, shining sun on the other side.
That's absolutely beautiful, you know. And I'm gonna use that phrase.
Sure.
Take nothing but memories.
Yes.
Leave nothing but footprints. And really, all of us, when we, pass through in this life until the resurrection, let's put it that way, we want to make sure that we take with us those good memories, those positive memories, but those footprints are the legacies that we leave with others. Those footprints are the ideas, the thoughts, the impressions that we leave with others. And we're so grateful that we're able to talk with you. And we want to encourage everyone to think deeply about what you can do for yourself and for your family. The days are short, that's the truth. None of us know how long we have in this world. Not only none of us know how long this world will be. But while we do, we are all on this journey. Why take the negative with us? Why leave the negative behind? But what we can do is to leave the footprints of light and life with others, to take the memories of love with yourself. I want to thank you so very much. Okay, I thank you so very much. I keep saying Trivedi, but I have to say Viral. And last thing, the next to last thing I'm going to say is, and this is the only time that anybody's going to hear me do this, okay? Unless they have to run into me at the graveyard. So here it goes. This is from Daban.
Wow. Thank you. It was so good.
But listen, again, I want to thank you again, and always thank everyone else for being here with us. And as I always say, at this time, don't just climb your mountain, cross through it, and we will see you guys next time. Thank you again, Viral. And thank you.
Pleasure being here. Thank you so very much.
Bye-bye.